And hello again, everybody, and welcome to Member Spotlight. This is the Gwinnett Chamber of Commerce monthly radio show on Business Radio X. And today we've got a very special episode. We're going to be joined by some of the Chairman's Club members with the Gwinnett Chamber. I'm Mike Salmon, and joining us on the show today is Emma Reynolds-Middleton. She's with Soft Skills Zone, Scott Ritzheimer with 8-Figure Focus, and Raymer Sale with E2E Benefits Services. And welcome to the program, all of you. And we'll start with Emma. Good morning.
Good morning.
Soft Skills Zone. Tell us all about your company and what you do.
We are a provider of soft skill training. And soft skills are people skills, interpersonal skills. We provide training in communication, leadership, team building, team dynamics, personality assessments. Our training is instructor-led, and the classes are also online. The online classes are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, always accessible to any of our listeners. And also, we're excited to say that we provide assessments, soft skill assessments, where individuals can take an assessment and attain a soft skill credential. One thing about Soft Skills Zone, we are a woman-owned, veteran-owned business, and I am pleased to say that I am a veteran. I've served in the U.S. military for 10 years, and we have been in business again for 10 or 20 years, Soft Skills Zone.
That's awesome. You're owner, master trainer, and a veteran.
Yes, that's correct.
Is this a franchise, or is this something that you started from scratch?
It is something that I started from scratch. I started teaching communication, people skills in the community over 20 years ago while I was working in the workforce. And at that time, it was pro bono work. And since then, I've grown into a business, and I'm excited to say that we're continuing to grow.
Let's talk about soft skills. Let's wrap our arms around that a little bit more. What are we talking about when it comes to soft skills? What is the definition?
Soft skills are people skills. They're interpersonal skills. Now, we may be familiar with hard skills. Hard skills are the skills that typically individuals go to college to achieve a master's degree in, for example, accounting, sales, marketing, things of that nature, whereas soft skills are those intangible skills. For example, communication, team building, team dynamics, leadership, those skills that are intangible.
So, like, for an example, maybe a doctor, you go to medical school and you learn how to do surgeries and so forth. Those are the hard skills.
Correct.
But the bedside manner might be more of the soft skills.
That is correct.
So how did the idea come into your head? I mean, is it something where you saw a need and you decided to take the leap?
That is correct. I saw a need. In fact, as I was growing up, just as a personal sharing, when I was in college, I tried out for a competition. And during that competition, as I was looking on the front line and I saw all of my friends from my community down in the audience laughing at me, I somewhat froze up and had stage fright. And as we may know, communication is ranked as one of the top fears, if not the greatest fear. And for me, that somewhat set into me a fear of speaking in public. However, what I decided to do was overcome that fear. Mm-hmm. And to do that, I began to take training in public speaking, training in communication, so that I wouldn't be limited, so that I wouldn't be held back, so that I could achieve my maximum potential. And that's the advantage of taking training with Soft Skills Zone, is that we provide the training to help individuals achieve their maximum potential.
Absolutely, because you could be the best at whatever it is you do, but if you don't know how to communicate and work with other people,
it
only goes so far.
That's correct.
Well, you're on the show today because you have joined not only just the Gwinnett Chamber, but you've gone right to the top. You've joined the Chairman's Club, which is the most prestigious membership you can have with the Gwinnett Chamber. Talk about your decision to join not just the Chamber, but the Chairman's Club.
Well, I can tell you that I attended a few of the Chamber's events, and I knew immediately that I needed to go straight to the top. I'm in the people business. I need to network with individuals who are making those decisions that can bring me in, bring my team in to provide the training to their staff on the soft skills. So it didn't take me long at all to recognize the importance of making that investment of time and money so that I can best position Soft Skill Zone with those key individuals. And already I'm seeing results.
Talk about the types of events you've been able to go to so far and what you've been able to accomplish.
Well, I was fortunate to attend the event that the Chairman's Club hosted at the end of the year, and the networking was phenomenal.
Was that the Holiday Mixer?
It was the Holiday Mixer, and I was able to make some key connections with the support of the Chamber's team. And from that event, I've already reached out, I've already met with, and we're taking next steps so that Soft Skills Zone can be on site providing training to those organizations.
So you are using the soft skills that you teach
Yes.
at the networking event. And the great thing, too, is a lot of folks sometimes have the misconception if I join the chamber, the business will come. But you still have to work it.
You have to work it. If you're in business, and I know there are many business owners that are listening in order for your business to be successful, you've got to do the work. And I'm definitely out there doing the work.
Well, that's great stuff. And we are glad to have you as a Chairman's Club member myself. We are
Yes.
glad to have you in the organization with us. And I didn't get to meet you that night, but I get to meet you today. So thank you for coming by. For those that would like to find out more about Soft Skills Zone, where can they get that information?
They can visit the website, Soft Skills Zone. The website is www.softskillzone.com. The phone number is 678-524-3343. That's Soft Skills Zone, www.softskillzone.com.
Emma Reynolds-Middleton, the owner of Soft Skills Zone, joining us here on Member Spotlight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Our next guest on the program is Scott Ritzheimer with 8-Figure Focus. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Mike. Thanks for having me on.
And just like Emma, you joined the chamber and you went right to the top and joined the Chairman's Club, and we'll ask you about that. But before we do, tell us about 8-Figure Focus and what your business does.
Yeah, I've spent about the last 10, 12 years in small business and working to grow my own small business. And during that time, we went through some great seasons. We went through some really difficult seasons. And during those difficult seasons, I think is when, you learn the most. And one of the things that I learned during that time is there's a lot of problems that businesses each have to solve, but it's the same problem for everybody. And I started going out and looking and saying, hey, if everyone's coming across these same problems when it comes to marketing with clarity, or it comes to how do you align the people on your team or build the systems and processes your business really needs to scale, I started looking for tools that really did that and found a couple incredible tools. And during that time, I started to get a vision for, hey, what if I could go in and help other people in the same place to really do the same thing that I needed to do and save a whole lot of heartache along the way.
What are the types of businesses that you work with?
I love working across industries. It's a lot of fun for me, working with folks who have different hard skills problems, like Emma was talking about, but being able to really focus in on the inside of the business. A lot of people work in the business, but not on the business. And so I tend to work across industries. I've done everything from chiropractic education to manufacturing, and it's a ton of fun to do.
I understand one of the terms that you use in your business is called predictable success. Talk about that, and how does that help businesses grow?
Yeah, predictable success is a framework put together by a guy named Les McEwen. And Les noticed over his time working with, I think, roughly 3,000 businesses that they all follow a predictable path. And there's 7 stages that any business goes through in its life cycle. And at each stage, the things that you need to do to grow are different. And so I help identify what stage a company is in and what they need to do to grow at that stage.
I did want to backtrack just a second. 8-Figure Focus. I have to ask you about the name. Where did you come up with the name for it?
8 figures, 10 million to 99,999,099 cents, right? And what that is, and I'll touch on it in the chamber the Chamber of Commerce and the Chairman's Club, but I love working with founder owners, and I love working at scale. And that $10 million to $100 million range is where the founder owner is often still involved, but they're working with an enterprise that's really going somewhere. And so that's for me the space that I like to work in. And I think especially during that time, and especially for founders and owners, there's this question of what do we need to do now? What's most important now? And how do we stay true to what it is that we do really well? And that's where the focus piece comes in.
We're going to go back to talking about your Chairman's Club membership and talk a little bit more and expand on that. But I do want to ask you about one more term that I understand you use, and that's called Story Brand Framework.
Yes. So the Story Brand Framework is another one of those tools that really is universal in its application. And what it is story is a sense-making device. Whenever we experience life, our brain actually interprets it into story format. And so story has been used for thousands of years to not only communicate, but to compel people to action, right? And what we can do as a brand is we can take the power of story, we can take storytelling and leverage it to communicate well with our customers. There was actually a gentleman who wanted to study, how effective is story, and he went out and he bought about 200 items for about 99 cents each, right, on eBay, and took those items and had an author write a short story about each item. And would you believe he sold those very same items for 40 times as much as he did before? One was a plastic horse head. And so if you're in the plastic horse head business, I've got a great business model for you. You just have to write stories about them. But for everyone else, the moral of the story is we connect with stories in an emotional, a visceral, and an intellectual way. And so what I do with StoryBrand is have a framework to help people to tell their story and invite their customers into a story.
I got you. This little bottle of water in front of me, a plastic bottle of water, might be worth 50 cents. But if there's a story behind it, maybe a celebrity once drank out of it or something like that, that's where all the value is.
That's exactly what it is. Seth Godin says, today he uses water actually as an example, and says nobody needs to pay for water, right? Tap water in the first world is available anywhere. We can walk outside this room and get a drink from the water fountain next door. But we're willing to pay $7 for a bottle of water at the airport. Why? Because we tell ourselves a story that water's better. Right? Us buying that water tells us a story about ourselves that we like to agree with.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Great stuff. Well, you are the CEO of 8 Figure Focus. We're talking with Scott Ritzheimer. And you also joined the Chamber and decided that the best membership for you right off the bat was the prestigious Chairman's Club membership. Talk about making that decision.
Yeah, I love the opportunity to be with the Chamber. The business that the first business that I grew and built was here in Gwinnett, and we were the beneficiaries of that. But we were kind of a nationwide reach and didn't do a whole lot locally. And so we got a lot of benefit from Gwinnett, but didn't have a lot of contacts. And so the Gwinnett Chamber was the perfect way for me to reconnect with other business owners here in the area. And again, like I said earlier, I love working with founder owners, which really is, CEO owners are the Chairman's Club group, and they're doing it at scale. And getting in that space of 10 million to 100 million, making contacts with other folks inside the Chairman's Club that are serving companies in that range has been an enormous benefit.
Have you had an opportunity yet to experience any of the events?
Yeah, I was with you guys over at the holiday reception, so I think I ate an entire tower of bacon, and
Yep.
And so it was a fantastic time, just an amazing group of people.
Absolutely. Well, for those that would like to, Scott, know more about 8 Figure Focus, have a conversation with you, what's the best way to find out more about your company?
Yeah, so we're all over social media, 8 Figure Focus. My website, the URL is 8figurefocus.com. You can either use the word or the number. Either one will get you there. And
Good job.
Yes. And that's partly because I kept forgetting which one it was and needed to make sure I had both when I told people. But 8figurefocus.com, and the best number to reach us is 678-490-8330.
Well, Scott, congratulations on your success. Welcome to the Chairman's Club, and thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Mike.
Scott Ritzheimer with 8-Figure Focus here on Member Spotlight. Our third guest is a friend of Business Radio X. Raymer, we got to stop meeting like this.
Absolutely not.
Raymer Sale Jr., he is the owner, the grand poobah, the president, probably every title you can think of, probably the cook and the dishwasher as well.
Windows too.
People ask you, what do you do? You say whatever it takes.
That's right.
The company is E2E Benefits Services. And for those that may not be familiar with you or your company, talk about what you do.
I will. Right after I say, Emma, thank you for your service. Appreciate you serving our military and serving our country and let me sleep at night.
Yes, you're welcome.
E2E Benefits and E2E Resources are sister companies. We sell insurance, employee benefits to small, medium, and large employers, mostly in the Gwinnett area, although we have some out of state. We not only sell the product, but we do the service, claims issues, billing issues, and that sort of thing. And then on top of that, we spend a great deal of our time focusing on how to save the employer money. So that's the main thing. Insurance is expensive. We all know it. And we know that if we don't find ways to save money on it and get people to ask the question, how much does this cost? They're going to spend more money, which is going to cause cost of the insurance to go up. There are many, many tools and techniques to do this. One of them is we added E2E Resources, which is an HR company with proprietary software that allows the employer to use our link to process payroll, to answer HR questions, to track their employees, and that sort of thing. And believe it or not, February last year, somebody said, "When did you start the business?" I said, "Holy cow, 25 years ago." We're in our 26th year this year.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It does indeed.
So payroll, HR, employee benefits, health insurance, a lot of the things that are kind of the back end of an office so the business owner can concentrate on what's making them money.
That's exactly right. What drives their revenue source? Certainly it's not sitting around figuring out how to pay the insurance bill or how to fight claims. They're out selling or servicing whatever products they have. So our idea is to be a behind-the-scenes, seamless, to use a word that's used a lot, service provider for the employer. So when they've got questions, they pick up the phone and call us. Don't call the insurance company because it's almost as successful as calling the IRS.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but things change so much in all those areas, the health care and benefits and so forth, that people need to keep up with. So you've seen it 25, 26 years. It's always changing.
Yes, it is. It is always changing. And, of course, when they put the health care law in back in 2010, when it became effective, it changed the entire scope and the entire landscape of what's going on. And so now employers can be in trouble and don't even know they are with filings and testings and all of that sort of thing. That's our job.
So how long have you been a member of the Chamber, and how long have you been a member of the Chairman's Club?
Well, I joined the Chamber in or about 1993. And I had just opened my business. I left corporate America. I was a VP of marketing for an insurance company. I left in corporate America and proclaimed that I'm open for business one day in my basement. And so shortly after that, I didn't know anybody in Gwinnett because I spent all my time at an airport. And so I inquired about some things I should do. And somebody says, join the Chamber of Commerce, join a networking group. So I joined the Chamber of Commerce. And it didn't take me long to figure out that the best way to sell business is to, number one, let people build confidence in you and your knowledge and what you're doing. And number two, to build relationships with people, because relationships are what it's all about. I know there are plenty of agencies out there that are 10 times bigger than I am, but I guarantee you the relationships I have with my clients are incredible. Because we are compassionate about what we do and we take their best interest to heart. That's the thing that I try to do best. But joined about 1993. And the Chairman's Club, when they opened the doors, I joined. And I don't know when that was. I'm going to say it's probably 15 years ago, something like that. I joined at that time simply because I had learned that networking in the Chamber is the key. And this was another opportunity to network with other people that ran businesses, that were the leadership, the people that are making the decisions. And that's the people I want to talk with, because they can decide whether they want to use the program, investigate the program, see what they got's working, And I've been that way. I've been that member of that ever since. I missed the holiday party. Unfortunately, that's about the first one I ever missed.
But you've had your share of the bacon in the past.
Oh, I've seen the bacon plenty of times, and the bacon tower.
Exactly. So there is a difference for joining the chamber. You have all these events and all these things at your disposal, but the Chairman's Club has exclusive events just for Chairman Club members.
It does. It has exclusive events for Chairman Club members, and those members are usually participants in other events that are going on with the chamber. And while we're here to talk about Chairman's Club, there are a couple of events where you travel out of town to go to the venues each year, and it used to be a small group, and now it's a much larger group. But you get to meet people on a one-on-one basis. They are also the Chairman's Club members in many cases, the people that make decisions in our county. And so it's just a network, a web, if you will, connecting the dots to make business happen.
We're talking with Raymer Sale. He is the owner of E2E Benefits Services, and this is Member Spotlight, the Gwinnett Chamber's monthly radio show. And today we're really concentrating on Chairman's Club membership. You see it from a different perspective than, say, Emma and Scott, who are newer to the club. What advice would you give them now that they have invested their dollars in the Chairman's Club and are starting to participate in events? What advice would you want to give to Scott and Emma?
Well, it's early on in the conversation, it was you mentioned, I believe, that joining the Chamber of Commerce doesn't mean that your phone starts ringing and somebody's knocking at your door immediately. You've got to work the event to make it happen. Some events have different levels of employer groups in there. Some are going to have the smaller groups, some are going to have the larger groups. But the thing about it is not the size of the group that this particular participant represents. They know people. And so I don't know, you may be a one-person employer, Emma, but you know somebody that's a 25-employer group, or you know somebody that's a 100-employer group. And so it's all about the networking. So if I could give one message and only one message about anything at the Chamber, especially the Chairman's Club, you spend a lot of money for that. Network. Use it to your advantage. People are expecting it. We may meet at a chamber event. You and I may meet at a chamber event, and we're going to say, hey, let's go out and have lunch together. And you're going to learn about your family, your job, how you got started, what your background is. And so that's what gives you the opening to sell your business, because once people trust you, once people understand that you know what the heck you're talking about, then they're willing to say, hey, let's do something. And by the way, Emma, I just spent the last hour and a half in a car with a gentleman who is one of my clients that has about a 45 employee group, and we were talking about one of the situations with soft skills. He said, I got to train these people somehow. I said, I didn't know you at the time, but I said, that's what I would do, is I would hire somebody to educate those people. They're very talented people.
I'd like to hear more about that.
You will.
So your membership, Emma's already been paying off.
Yes.
By tenfold.
Yes.
That's wonderful. And Raymer, because everybody knows you and you know everybody, because as long as you've been part of the chamber, the nice thing is I think the newer members of the Chairman's Club can come up to you and say, listen, can you introduce me to so-and-so? Everybody, even all the chamber staffers, are happy to say, hey, who would you like to meet? I can make the introduction for you.
Absolutely. More than happy to do that. And that happens all the time. And as I said, we know each other. You want to see somebody? If I know them, I'll be more than glad to introduce it. That's the way you do business.
Let me ask you this, Raymer, because I know with us as a Chairman's Club member here at Business Radio X, and just our Chairman's Club generally, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's going to be very, very high. The clients that we have here, I would say more than a majority. Well, I can't say more than a majority, but a majority of them came through Gwinnett Chamber connections and relationships. Every sale starts with a relationship. How much of your business would you attribute to maybe the chamber membership?
I'm a small agency. I have 8 employees, 9 counting me. We have about 130 accounts, which is anywhere from 1,000 down. And I would say that 80 to 85% of my business came through the Chamber of Commerce, one way, shape, or form.
I would say our numbers here at Business Radio X are about the same as well. Well, Raymer, for those that would like to find out more about E2E Benefits Services, where can they get that information?
Well, they can go to our website, which is now I want to change the name. It's the letter E, the number 2, the letter E, resources, resources.com. Telephone number 770-736-9190, or email me, Raymer, Raymer, at e2eresources.com.
Raymer, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Good to see you, too.
And we'll give Emma and Scott a chance also to give their website one more time. Emma Reynolds-Middleton with Soft Skills Zone, your website once again.
It's www.softskillzone.com. Phone number 678-524-3343.
And Scott, your website over there at 8-Figure Focus.
It's easy, 8figurefocus.com.
And as we learned, you can either spell out the word 8 or the
That's
numeral
right.
8.
That's right. We'll make it easy.
Very smart. All right, I want to thank Scott and Emma and Raymer for joining
Thank
us
you.
here on Member Spotlight. A reminder, this is the monthly Gwinnett Chamber show, and today we were highlighting some of the Chairman's Club members, and hopefully we'll do this again soon in the near future. So until our next show, I'm Mike, and we'll see you next time here on Member Spotlight.